Welcome to the 2020 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment. Brought to you by our proud sponsors. Imperial Yeast, a half stainless steel mash panel sponsor of the Brewtubers Online Brewers Club, an official yeast provider of the Yeast Experiment. Imperial Yeast offers brewers of all sizes access to world-class yeast and the best possible customer and technical support. Be sure to grab a pack or two now at your local homebrew shop or Woody's Homebrew. And lastly, Hopsteiner, the official hops provider of the 2020 Yeast Experiment. Get brewing.
Hey everybody, Main Brew Guy here. I have Andrew Roan. I think I'm saying that right, Andrew. He has Imperial 20 citrus yeast. He ended up at 1066. Nice job. Final gravity 1015, pretty close to mine. 6.9% ABV. It was brewed on 219. It was kegged on 226 and bottled on 228. And I think he was one of the last ones to show up. So his is one of the fresher ones, so I kind of left it for last. Now, all of us had our own method to our madness. I know A20 is the brethren of OYL 200 and White Lab 644, but I figured, was it Peter or Andrew? Someone combined those yeasts in one viewing session. I thought that was really good. Anyway, so let me write this down. A20, here we go. Okay, small hiss. Let's see if we can do a little better with the camera this time. I had my hands in the way on the last few viewings. All right, this one kind of looks like it's pretty clear and fairly well carbonated. Even though I did pour easy, I can hear it effervescing. So I'm gonna keep the kids out of the pool, as Nick likes to say. He likes to put the kids in the pool. I like to keep them out so they don't piss in the pool. And let's see if I can make it. Oh, I missed again. Jesus, I suck at that. All right, so we've got a 3-finger head. There is a little bit of sediment at the bottom of this. Gee whiz. There is a little bit of sediment at the bottom of this, and I'm going to leave it there. Quite a lot of stuff settled out on these beers that I really didn't anticipate, and this one is fairly clear. Even with the super cold temperatures, there is a minuscule chill haze, which I'm sure will, as you'll see, will clear up. So that is cleared up nicely. I think 644 was fairly clear as well, but I don't know if, I don't remember if OYL 200 was. Let me make sure my mic is on. Of course, you'll already know because you'll hear me talking. So I had a faux pas with one of my other videos. I reviewed a beer with no video footage at all. So camera wasn't on. Well, I'll get to that after this video, after this review. Anyway, so I'm waiting for this now 2-finger head to settle down a little bit so I can get some aroma on it. So I'm getting like banana and cloves on this one. Mostly banana. It's almost like a Belgian to me. I'm not getting the citrus. I don't know if anybody else had gotten citrus on this. I'm not really getting that. This has got more of a Belgian quality to it. It smells amazing. I do love a Belgian. Maybe a faint whiff of citrus, and some floral notes too, but mostly that banana clove thing going on. Mostly banana. Wow, it actually smells amazing. I can't lie, but it's certainly not an IPA on the aroma, but very pleasant. If we weren't grading IPAs, I would be gushing all over that. Cheers, Andrew. Banana. I'm getting banana all the way through this thing. not like, it's there, it's not overpowering, it's balanced with the malt. But instead of getting this IPA citrus thing, I'm getting like a really cool Belgian quality to this. It's got nice, it's amazing because it's like, I think, what are we, close to like 70 IBUs on this? It's not huge, but the hops are so muted. It's all Belgian quality kind of a beer, really. You could pass this off as a, yeah, it has this Belgian quality to it all the way through. You could easily enter this beer as a Belgian. It'd be a, you know, not an, it'd be a mild Belgian. Laramo 22 would probably actually like this Belgian because it's not too Belgian-y. Just Belgian enough to be Belgian. How many times can I say Belgian? It's like where they're drinking maple syrup. You know what I'm talking about, meow. Oh God, Super Troopers, there we go. Andrew, it's a great Belgian, man, but it's not an IPA. I'm really digging this beer for its own sort of classification. Yeah, it's a really cool beer. Regardless, it's got a lot of farmhouse Belgian quality to those three yeast styles. Supposedly the same yeast. I think they're probably the same yeast sort of family, but I don't think they're the same yeast at all. I think that they've been modified. Long day at work. Anyway, yeah, this beer has cleared up beautifully. It's super clear. You can see my finger running through there. There's bubbles streaming up from the bottom. Beautiful beer. Nice job, Andrew. It's gonna score it lower only because it doesn't really fit the style all that well, but if I was to grade this beer out of this category, yeah, dude, really high, really high. It's super good. I would crush these all day long, all summer long. Dude, that's bananas. All right, let me write this down. I'll cut this part out. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Andrew. Nice job. Really appreciate you being part of this. All right, guys. Last beer for the 2020 Brewtubers Yeast Experiment is actually my beer. And I don't know if you guys picked up on this. It's Cloudy Skies, Smooth Seas. So the Cloudy Skies, maybe that was a stretch. For the cloudy beer. Smooth Seas because it was smooth bittering, and it was Centennial, Citra, and Simcoe, the little S there, for the dry hop. So yeah, Cloudy Skies, Smooth Seas. Anyway, I used Juggernaut. Let me write this down. So it's a maniacal yeast blend. It's a Kvike yeast, and I think one other yeast. I actually haven't looked it up. So Nick and Brandon a while back, they sent me the Traveling Growler, and he sent me a beer with a little sample of this maniacal yeast. And I had that New England IPA that he had put, that him and Brandon had made and put in the Traveling Growler, and it was fantastic. I drank the whole growler while talking to Nick on camera. I was so wrecked that night. The room was spinning, because it went down so nice and it was so tasty. I completely lost track of that beer. Anyway, he said he had used the Juggernaut, so I thought, well, I'll use it because I live in Florida and I need high temperature fermenting yeasts here because I only have one spot to ferment, and I like to do pilsners and lagers in there under control. So I like finding good Kvike yeasts that I can use. So I propagated this one, and I made like 7 or 8 samples of it and set it aside. So I use that. I've been using that yeast as my house yeast, and because I like it so much. So I actually used it on this beer as well. So it's hard to come by, and yeah, so this can is a little soggy when I touched it. Usually when you touch a can, it feels firm in the hand. This one felt a little soggy, so this is one I kept behind for myself. in case it was undercarbonated, and it looks like it might be. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if I underfilled it or it leaked a little of the CO2 out. But everybody got a much bigger head than that than I did. And they all said that mine had cleared out. I actually have a bit of chill haze on mine in the can. So I'm not sure why that is. I've reviewed my beer pretty much later than everyone else. So let me put here Juggernaut. So I think Bradley and his wife nailed the profile, and also Brian and Kelly also nailed it. And it's mangoes. You pick up a ton of mangoes on this. This is why it does really well in a New England IPA. Juggernaut yeast. Okay, so let's see if I'm still getting mangoes after all this time. Yeah, not as big as it was. It was huge in the beginning. Let's see if I can spin that up a little more. Yeah, see, I get more like muted mango now. It's very mild. I'm getting a lot of the caramel character. Super clean smelling, like all the other beers have been. Same color, really, quality as most. The only ones that appeared a little darker were the ones that cleared out, oddly enough. The ones that didn't clear out remain this bright orange color. I hope that's coming through on the camera. It's almost got a little hint of vanilla in there too, and of course I did not add any vanilla. And as far as the cloudiness goes, like I said, the kids are still in the bottom of the pool here. I didn't pour the whole thing in. So I don't know how some of mine got clear and some of them didn't. It's very odd to me. This is how it had poured out of the keg until I kicked it. And this is how all the other cans I've had. Except this one's a little less carbonated because I kept this one behind. It's the last one. Because the can was a little soft when I grabbed it. So I was like, I'm not going to send that one out. I'll keep it for myself. So that's where we're at with that. I don't know why that. Every now and then you get one, no matter how good your canning is. Every now and then you get one that just doesn't seal for some reason. I don't know if it's a defect in the can or what. I usually keep them upside down after I've canned them, and I put them on a paper towel, and I leave them at room temperature so they can really, really expand. And if any of them leak, it'll leave a telltale ring around the paper towel, and then I know that one is one that I'm either one, going to drink early, or two, not send out to anyone. That's one of the tricks I've learned. Yeah, so back to this beer. I was really super fond of this beer when it came out. Out of the keg, the first few pours were incredibly aromatic. Unfortunately, it was super aromatic and you were like, oh my God, that is amazing. And then when you tasted it, it was like, it doesn't really follow. It does. It was just like amplitude on the aroma was 10, and then amplitude on the flavor was like 3. So it's like, oh. Sort of like when you go to a bar and you're like, I'm gonna try that raspberry blonde. And you smell on it and you go, oh my God, that is amazing. And then you taste it and you're like, oh, I wish, that followed through, but it didn't. And that's kind of how this one was when it first came off the tap. It was still a really good beer, regardless. But that's what I had noticed. So, the hops had died down quite a bit, the hop aroma. And this Juggernaut does seem to support more of a, like a fruit basket kind of mango, more to the mango side. Bradley and Brian and company had picked that up. So let's go in for the taste. What you smell on the nose on this beer is what you taste. So it's that mango, a slight bit of vanilla, follows straight through. Just like the last beer I reviewed when I said it was like banana. and it followed through on the palate. This yeast does the same thing. It finishes us on a little bit dry on the end, which is so surprising because it finished at 1016 and you would expect it to be a little more viscous on the tongue. It's a little sweeter, but it's not viscous. It's kind of got almost a little drying effect to it. There's no back end bitterness. You know, all of the beers have been well crafted. I will let you know when I'm tasting one of my beers and I think they suck. In fact, Kevin says I'm a little too hard on myself, but we are our own worst enemies. It's kind of got a little bit of the West Coast family in it and a little bit of the East Coast family in it, but it's neither or. Yeah, I want to take this time to let you know that I had a camera malfunction with one of the reviews. I reviewed the beer, I wrote everything down. I just didn't get you on camera and I'm so sorry. So there were two from this group that I did not get to review on camera. One I didn't get to review at all, one I didn't get to review on camera. I hope that I cleared that up. So I'll be one short on my data pool. So I encourage you guys to get all your data put into the website because I can compile these numbers and give you guys a nice sort of summary on this. So you can see, yeah, you all have your own favorites, but you might look at it and say, wow, look, everybody came in pretty high on this one. So that might be important information for you and other people as well. I mean, we did this experiment, but other people can certainly benefit from our labor. Yeah, there's that. I want to take this final note to thank all 12 participants who signed up for the 2020 Brewtubers Yeast Experiment. Going into this, I think not all of you knew how tight tolerance this experiment was going to be. Possibly one or two of you may wanted to bow out when you found out how many rules there were and how many changes there were in your brewing style and your kegging style. I'm glad you did it. I hope you are glad you did it because you learned something, you got out of your comfort zone. So every beer in this experiment was absolutely crushable. Crazy that you have 13 brewers that brewed these beers with amazing skill. I am in awe at the outcome of this. I was concerned with all the steps that we had to take for the controls that it just wasn't going to work and people were going to come up with some crazy things and the beers were going to come in all over the place. That did not happen. We had a really good experiment. It's going to be hard to top this experiment, but we have two more planned for the year. I hope that you all would return for a repeat performance. What a truly amazing group of people we have in this experiment. I know we've all become really close in the group. The chemistry is really amazing. I encourage anyone out there who sees upcoming experiments to sign up early. I have decided, after being a hub, that 13 total participants, including the hub, is the absolute limit. Just because you have to package these things a certain way, and if you get to 13, because you always send an extra in case one breaks. So if you get to 14 beers, then you're almost having to put the box to a bigger size, which pushes the freight out to a more expensive level. So 12, 13, including the hub, is the magic number of the most amount of people we can have and we had 13 in this experiment. And I can't wait to brew it again. So guys, cheers, and thanks for participating. Get your score sheets in the system. Please, hurry. Time's running out. Not really. Cheers.